Hey everyone, Professor Hank here. So today we're going to talk about how you can create inner classes in Java. We'll talk about why they're useful and we'll see an example of how to create them using NetBeans. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, what is an inner class? An inner class is simply a class that is defined within another class. And these can be useful for organizing your code and also restricting access to code. So you can imagine where you might have a class that is going to be working with one other class, and you don't want any other class to have access to it. This would be a situation where you would have an inner class. And this goes to the whole idea of principle of least privilege. If any other class doesn't have any business accessing something, then it shouldn't be allowed to. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at an example of this. So we'll go ahead and create ourselves a new project in NetBeans, and I'll just call this inner, and we'll call the package inner as well. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So here is our main method. And now let's say that for some reason we needed to have this class foo, and class foo needed to use circles, needed to have a class named circle to help it do its business. And only class foo needed circles. Nobody else has any business using a circle. Then we're going to create class circle as an inner class for our class foo. And if we make it private, then we're explicitly saying nobody else, whether it's in the same package or outside the package, no other classes can access or use class circle. Now we'll add to class circle a double for its radius, and then we'll give it a mutator method, which will be public void set radius, and it will accept a double as its argument and simply set the radius to its argument. And then we'll have ourselves a default constructor, which will simply call set radius and pass it 0, so that way we're initializing our circle's radius to 0. And then we will have an overloaded version, which can accept an argument, and it will also call set radius and just pass it R. Now let's have an accessor, public double get radius, and it'll simply return this dot radius, and then we'll have a get area method. So we'll do public double get area, and then we'll return this dot radius times this dot radius times an approximation for pi 3.14159. Okay, so that is our private inner class circle that only foo can access. Now, if we wanted to create a constructor for foo, we could do that as usual. So do public foo, and inside that constructor, we could instantiate a circle. So do something like this, circle C equals new circle, and maybe we pass it an argument like 1.2. And then we can retrieve it. We can retrieve that value at 1.2. So we can do C dot get radius, and then we could display that to the user, right? So we could do system.out.println. Now, if we go to our main method, we can instantiate a new foo, and foo's gonna use a circle to be able to display the contents of a circle, right? So we can build this and run it, compile it and run it, and you can see that there's the 1.2. Now, if we tried to create a circle from public class inner, so something like circle C equals new circle, we can't do it, right? So you see how we got the squiggles there? That's because the scope of our circle is class foo, and since it's private, nobody can directly access class circle. Now, if we were to make class circle package level access or public, then stuff outside of class foo could access it, but it takes you a little bit of extra work. So you would have to do something like this. We'd have to have a foo reference to an object. So then that will allow us to instantiate a circle object, but we have to do a little bit of extra work. We have to do something like foo.circle and then have a reference name, and then do f dot new circle. So in this way, we can use a circle, but we have to go through all these extra steps, right? So you can't accidentally use it. And that's if you have public or package access for your inner class. And normally you're not going to do that, right? So if we make it private, then you can see you can't access the circle anymore. So this is a way to make sure that only class foo knows about a circle. Now, the other thing that you can do is the class circle can access the members of foo. So if foo had something like private int x, then we could, from within class circle, access that. So we could do something like x equals 123, something like that. And so class circle has access to its outer classes stuff. Okay, so now you know how to create an inner class in Java. You know the advantages of it, and you know how to control access to that inner class from other classes. As usual, if you're a student of mine and you have any questions about any of the content in this video or any of the other videos for our courses, please feel free to stop by my Zoom office hours or send me an email via Canvas. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.